Hello, Di here from Timeslip Softworks. Welcome to the 35th development video for Vigilantes. In this video I'm going to cover the additions and improvements made in Vigilantes version 16, which is now available from Humble. To start off, two new maps have been added, and these represent the start of an industrial sector in Riker City. This is kind of like an older part of the city, which part of it is still in use, whereas other parts of it have been kind of maintained for heritage purposes. So this is a quick look at a whistle-stop tour basically of one of the two new maps in this tile set. Moving on from there, I guess this was the highlight feature for this version is the addition of Interrogations. Now you can see Olga's interrogation illustration here. It's one of my favourite so far in the game. Now, along with more mission types, Interrogations was the most requested feature when we asked our Kickstarter backers some time ago about which features they felt would most substantially benefit the game. So we've added in the map types and we've moved on to Interrogation now for this update. I'll just give you a quick rundown on how this works. Effectively, you need a living enemy to be able to carry out an interrogation, and to start off you have to choose your interrogator. In this case, not much of a choice, but it's worth noting here the close combat and firearm skills because they'll be useful later on. So I'm going to select Sam. Now, another thing that's worth pointing out is that if you press a gang member for information on their own gang, they're going to be more resistant to giving it to you. So it's better if you look for information on, say, the survivalists or the churchers. So we'll go with the survivalists in this case. And running down how this is, just to give you a quick idea of how it plays out, how it's calculated. Character level is a factor. You get 3 points for every character level. You get 1 point for every level of presence, and then there will be perks that will give you additional bonuses. So if you want to have a kind of one character that's specialized in interrogations, you can do that. Perhaps a leadership character, as this links into presence. Now, from the enemy's point of view, we have two same things, and we also have foot soldier. These are the basic troops of the mafia, and this gives them a small bonus to interrogations. Now, we currently have a 26% chance to break the subject. Now, we will get some opportunities to soften them up a little first. So I'm going to go and pick one of these now. The first thing, you can choose firearms or you can choose close combat, your primary attack abilities. So I'm going to go for close combat because I've got a higher skill in this. So you'll notice now that it's gone up to 32, and this character's got a 9 penalty for being roughed up. The next phase is the choice to administer sodium thiopental, which is a kind of it's commonly known as a truth serum, and that is you can currently buy it in the shop. It will later be a craftable item. There may be multiple levels of it, but I'm going to go and do that now. I'm going to administer that, and that's boosted the chance to around 50%. You can see it's given a minus 15% penalty. So that's all I can do now. Okay, so this is a successful outcome. Pain, pressure, and nerves conspire to break the subject. Natalia Esposito reveals a survivalist presence in 4-3. Now, this will show the district name later on. Yeah, but we can exit out of this now. Go back to the... let's see, which should be around here. So there we go. That's the intel, which has just been revealed as a result of that interrogation. It basically puts the intel level up to the basic, the level required to gain the next piece of information on that district. Now, if you had already known that the survivalists occupied this district, that intel would have revealed the danger level of the district, and it'll work its way up, so you can get all this information as far as here from interrogating the lowest level troops. To actually get the gang leadership, you're going to need to move up the chain a little. You need to kind of move to the tier 2 troops, which are the Mafia Enforcer, Hitman, the Survivalist, Sniper and Gunner, or the Churcher, Fanatic or Chaplain. And once you get to those, you have a chance of revealing information either on a racket or a gang leader. And to move on to the next thing which has been added, I have added a gang intel screen. Now it's worth pointing out this is really provisional, but to give you an idea how it works, each gang, this kind of represents each gang's leadership. Now obviously these, the layout and the graphics are sort of provisional. This is the kind of the boss, the leader of the gang. This is who you need to take down to completely eliminate the gang. Nothing else is going to stop them, really. And this is the leader's 4 lieutenants. And to be able to find one of these, now the way it worked before is you basically had to go in and try and raise the surveillance level on a tile very high, and then it would reveal the boss encounter. But since Interrogations, this allows for kind of a more involved and interesting process for finding the gang leaders. First, you're going to have to get 3 pieces of intel on them. You need to find out their name, you need to get their physical description, which is these 2. So name here, physical description, these 2, and you need to find out their hangouts. So once you have this information, this will allow you to find them. Now it will reveal the district they're in, and then you have to raise the surveillance level. It's not as high as before. I think it depends on the gang leader and the gang, but it could be in the kind of range of maybe 50 to 70 to reveal the lieutenants. So once you've done that, you can then take down that lieutenant. If you actually manage to find one, which I don't think is going to be very easy right now, as basically the whole system just needs a little more kind of work and tweaking. The idea so far is to get it mechanically, get everything that needs to be in there, and tweak it later. But if you do actually manage to find them, there are gang leaders in the game now, so you can actually fight one of the gang leaders if you manage to get the information. Now, the reason it's sort of unlikely at the minute is you need to get tier 2 enemies first, which is going to require a bit of playing until the enemies actually level up to tier 2. After that, you're going to need to get information, 3 pieces of information on one of them. So since there's 4 lieutenants, it could take a while to do that. So I don't think it's really going to change the game that much yet. You could do it, but it's going to take a lot of effort to get there. I'll look at making it kind of more sensible going forward. So that kind of covers the main additions: the addition of interrogation, the addition of gang leaders, and the addition of a gang intel screen. This gang intel screen will also have more information going forward, maybe stuff like the gang's equipment level, the gang's armor level, the level at which new recruits are, the character level for new recruits, and things like that. Moving on to some smaller things now, there was a bit of a problem in this update. I basically tried to upgrade Unity to deal with some problems with, if you try to change a texture, the texture quality in game, it blackens the screen. So I tried to upgrade Unity to get that and some kind of visual improvements. Unfortunately, the upgrade was extremely problematic. I noticed that it was basically trying to draw everything 3D on screen twice. This is obviously extremely bad for performance. Like on older systems, it'd be really bad for that. I tried to solve the problem, and I spent about a day trying to figure it out, but I just couldn't. I don't know what the problem was. I think that Unity is having some sort of problem with a certain type of mesh, which is causing the problem, but I don't know. So I've effectively had to downgrade back to the old version of Unity. Now, the new version of Unity allowed me to add some visual improvements, and I didn't really like losing them when I downgraded, so I spent some time working on the visual quality of the 3D section of the game, and that's a little better now. It's not quite as good as it was with 5.6, but it's better than it was before. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. So you may notice the kind of a slight kind of visual improvement on when you're playing version 16, and I've also, this is Olga's work. Olga's started working on character portraits. Now she's finished the ones for the player team and some of the gang ones, so over subsequent updates you'll start to see more hand-drawn portraits. We just felt that they kind of meshed better with the sort of illustration style of the game than the existing ones that we had. And before I go, I'd like to say thanks to Nomad, Ushas, and Chabrik for the help with the testing in this update. It's very helpful when I get all of the kind of get a lot of bugs lined up and how to recreate them. It makes it very quick to kind of to take care of them. And that's pretty much it for this update. I'm going to start version 17 right away, and I'll keep you updated on the progress. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.